fullbacks become inside receivers. Inside receivers become running backs. Tight ends become wideouts that can block on the perimeter.
It goes both ways.
I can answer the flip side of that probably better than the defensive side of it. I mean, you do your best in recruiting. I mean, recruiting is fickle, and you make good decisions, bad decisions. I mean, you got to check into character and grades and athletic ability, and the film's got to support it.
Sure.
You know, so you try to get guys that can do a whole bunch of things. You know, and then if they can't play one position, play the other. I mean, Carl Joseph and KJ Dillon could have played corner pretty easily. Darryl Worley could have played free safety pretty easily. So, yeah, I think that's good. Outside linebackers that can drop and cover or can rush the passer are pretty valuable. You know, linebackers that can stop the run but can cover an inside receiver and man coverage is pretty valuable.
They're hard to find.
I can't dispute that.
They're hard to find.
They're hard to find. They're hard to find. All those guys are hard to find.
So Coach, when you're recruiting, you mentioned all that. Does any of that was an athletic or position situation that it weighs more than the other, just to balance out of will it fit for you when what you're trying to do?
Oh, I don't know if I totally understand the question. But
I guess what I'm asking is, you mentioned about looking for guys playing multiple positions. Most times, coaches, when they say that they're looking for an athlete that can do more than one thing.
Correct. That's important.
Is it a balance between the two, or more, or what you're trying to do?
If I'm talking to the administration, it's character.
Okay.
If I'm talking to the academic people on campus, we focus on academics. If I'm talking about athletic ability, then I'm talking to strength coaches. If I'm talking about making plays, I'm talking to the coaches. So I don't know how you weigh that. You watch it, you evaluate it, you make decisions, you live with it.
Gotta know your audience, right?
Yeah.
Who's your second slot guy? He's got a bunch, but do you have two?
I'm working Gary Jennings, Devontae Mathis, and Steven Smothers.
So Jennings will be inside, outside, or just inside?
Jennings can do both. Mathis can do both.
Mathis is like 26 years old.
Yeah, he's made 2 plays. But Smothers is 150.
I was going to say, can you run him out there?
I mean, I'm trying to figure that out. It goes back to the same thing. I mean, we had him at a position and we taught him what to do, and we watched him come in and out of his cuts, but I don't have any feedback on what he can and can't do.
Just listen to what you're saying about your offense confusing defenses and like your personnel. Do you find that you're more, throwback's not the right word, but more like your old self with what you have at your disposal, guys who can do different things? And not that, but a number of them too, where you can run guys in and out and really not drop off to. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, we focused on that quite a bit. You know, if you look back at what I did at Houston and Oklahoma State and my first year here, we didn't do a whole lot of that. And we've done quite a bit of that over the last 3 years. I think we're at a point with having enough weapons at our disposal that we can get guys more solidified with specific positions.
It's even opposite of what I'm saying.
Yes.
Which is better?
Oh, yeah.
Just do the small stuff again and again and again and get good at it.
Mm-hmm. If you're not good enough at all those positions, then you got to move people around.
Which then leads me to this. I know you don't like a rate or anything like that or that label, but like there are so many returning quarterbacks and really good passing offenses. That's going to put points up, and you guys ran the ball very well last year. Do you kind of figure you have to be?
I feel like we need to throw it a little bit better in order to get that extra touchdown. We're at 35 a game. We got to get to 42.
XII?
Oh yeah. Well, you said 5 other teams were at 42.
Yeah. But the pieces are there, though, where you could have said that in the past. At least in the beginning of the season, you could have said that in the past and not really maybe meant it as genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get there.
Yeah. But now you kind of feel like that's 7 points.
We're not going to, I mean, if you average 42 points a game, you're not going to get there every game. Right. You know, against, I mean, 31 won against Texas Tech, but you play Texas Tech 10 times, 31 ain't going to get it done. So you got to have that ability, you know. And I feel like we need to be able to throw the ball a little bit more consistently with what I've done in the past in order to get us those extra points when we need it.
And that would complement your defense, which could be good, but right now you just don't know yet.
Right, but if our defense is getting points scored on them like TCU and Oklahoma and Baylor did, then we better be able to counter it. Now, what I got to be careful of is when we're holding teams down like Kansas State, like Iowa State, like Oklahoma State, like who else? Texas Tech this past year, Maryland. Well, don't just go out there and be reckless offensively. That's when you got. Why did we beat Texas and Texas Tech? Because we could control the ball and we could move it and do it the right way. But against Baylor, we had to open that thing up more. Against TCU, we had to open up that thing more. And we got to be able to do that more effectively when it comes time to have to do it. I don't want to change what we do from a pass game perspective to put our defense at a disadvantage. I want to be able to do it when we have to do it. And there's going to be times in the Big 12 where we're going to have to do it.
Does Smothers need a year to get to 160, 165? Or is he?
We'll see where he's at. I mean, 2 months in Morgantown may change that. It depends on how we use him. I'm not going to know that until bullets start flying. I think he's a really good player, but is he going to be able to hold up, and is he going to be able to stick his nose in there when there's some live shit going on? I don't know this. I don't.
But as a punt returner, maybe.
That may be the hardest thing.
Oh, really?
You're doing this when they're doing this. That spooks you.
I just meant not having to block.
Tavon didn't get that till his senior year. You know, he was spooked as a junior.
Yeah.
So I don't have the answers for that yet. That's why Javon couldn't be a punt returner last year. You know, the two that did it for us were the two that had a set on them.
Yeah.
Tough.
Do you have someone who can run
200 and some pounds?
I just want to say hello. You hear me on the conference call all the time.
Okay.
I'm Stephen with the AP.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, let's see.
I know you hear my voice all the
That's
time
right.
on those Mondays.
Quit asking those stupid questions.
Oh, quit giving me stupid answers. Hey, I know sometimes it's like, I know you don't want to answer this, but hey.
I hear you. I know. I get it.
You're real with this, so I like that, though.
Yeah, I try. Gets me in trouble sometimes.
I appreciate it. I just want to
you have someone who can run the touch pass? Been a while.
Smothers is that kind of guy.
Right. That's kind of like, that's not the punt return. That's a hard thing to ask.
It is. It is, and we're really evaluating that right now. But because we run the ball better and our quarterback holds edges, we don't need motion to hold the edge because the quarterback's holding that edge.
Right.
So there's an element to that touch pass that kept people honest to be able to run the ball better. You know, we're doing more of it in with the quarterback, which alleviates trying to do things with reverses and quick motions and counters and stuff like that.
But a guy like Shelton is really fast, and he couldn't do that for you. Could be an inside guy, I guess.
You know, Javon can do it. Smothers can do it. I think Marcus can do it. Nikhil can actually do it.
Yeah.
I've got to figure out how it fits, which we experimented with.
Would it fit though? Just the way you're sounding like you don't really need it, but like, would it actually work?
I don't think it's worth the time to do it because we're holding those edges anyway.
Right.
We're holding them with fullbacks, tight ends, quarterbacks.
Rest of the pass, that was how you did it.
Coach, you just mentioned something about
Thanks,
the
All right, buddy.
punt return, kickoff return. So are you more in favor of what the rule changes and all the attempting to alleviate?
Rules?
Yeah.
It's an interesting question. Because, you know, there's a lot of talk with our sport being in trouble because of concussions. there's a lot of talk of reducing practice time from a contact perspective, which, the less practice time we have, the less time we can teach how to do things right. So if it continues to head in that direction where concussions are a problem, I'm a huge fan of USA football, which teaches young kids how to tackle the right way. I'm a big proponent in what the rules committees have done with targeting, because it's emphasizing that our guys tackle the right way. But our sport is still in trouble because there's less and less people playing, and we're getting less and less time being able to tackle the right way. So something's got to go, and the first thing that's going to go is the kickoff team. So I don't know when it's going to happen, and I'm going to have no impact on whether it does or not, but I think that's the first thing to go, and I think it's only a matter of time.
Still have to have a component so you can onside kick in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there's specifics that they're going to have to work out, no question. All right, bud.
Too many
See y'all. But yeah, there's specifics they got to work out. But I think there's legs to what they're talking about.
How big a salad did Orlowski eat last night at Delphus?
32-ounce steak. Isn't that right? I didn't make it, but he always brags about it. He eats the biggest.
Oh, you weren't one of the 6.
Nah, I couldn't make it. I came in from a different direction, got in later.
Well, appreciate that.
All right, good
How you
stuff.
like the stadium?
Good.